Hi everyone, it's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm, and this is the video we call Weather for Weather Geeks. It's the Thursday evening edition on this third day of April, a big day in weather history in our general part of the region. The 1974 super outbreak occurred on April 3rd. That included the F5 that devastated the city of Xenia in southwest Ohio. So April 3rd can be a busy day, not only locally but nationally as well, and we saw evidence of that last night and early this morning. As expected, our storms rolled through between 2 and 5 a.m. They were noisy. We had some gusty winds, but we didn't have any tornadoes locally, even though we had a couple of tornado warnings off to our south, closer to Interstate 70 for a while late last night. We did have a scattering of wind damage reports, and these are a little more concentrated down towards Cambridge and over towards Wheeling, closer to I-70, but up towards the southwestern corner of Columbiana and over towards East Liverpool as well. We did have a couple of reports of some wind damage, but the tornadic activity, as expected, was pretty remarkable across the Mississippi Valley, the lower Ohio Valley as well. Over the last 24 hours, we're up to about 30 or so tornado reports. The National Weather Service offices continue to do some survey work, but we've seen some video and some pictures, of course, of some tremendous devastation with some of these tornadoes, especially right in through here, western Kentucky, southern Illinois, parts of the Tennessee Valley as well. And, this same area is under the gun for more active weather over the next couple of days, including tonight. There's a tornado watch still out for parts of Middle Tennessee, heading down towards northern Mississippi, and a lot of southeastern Arkansas as well. A few active tornado warnings. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings actually up into southern West Virginia. That's about as nearby as any severe weather would be this evening. But look at all the flood watches out. That's the dark green color. They extend from northern Ohio right down through Texas. They do not include our television viewing area, but of course we've got plenty of rain in the forecast for the next few days. We have a lot of river flood warnings and some aerial flood warnings mixed in here. Those are the brighter green colors. Locally, we do have a flood warning out for Eagle Creek in Trumbull County, which we'll talk about in just a second. But officially at the airport since midnight, we picked up a little over a half an inch worth of rain. Incidentally, April 3rd last year was also fairly active with 0.7 on today's date last year. For the season, we're running just a little bit behind average, and we're running more than an inch behind average for the year in terms of total precipitation. We're not in a drought, and we're not heading to a drought anytime real soon, despite that little bit of a deficit. I mentioned Eagle Creek. This is near Braceville in southwestern Trumbull County. It runs all the way down towards the Mahoning River near Leavittsburg, and minor flood stage begins at 10 feet. The most recent observation was about 10.5 feet. Probably going to see a crest overnight into first thing Friday morning, but the river, even though you see kind of a downtick right in through here, it's possible that Eagle Creek and the Mahoning River, for that matter, will rise some as we head into the weekend, just depending on how much rain we get across the general region. I could see where we even flirt with moderate flood stage here at Flakes Station. And again, all of our area rivers and streams have that chance of running fairly high through the weekend. We do have some rain on the way tonight, although it's going to be pretty light for the most part. Some periods of rain for the next handful of hours. It'll be steadiest probably before 2 or 3 in the morning. As you head out the door Friday morning, especially, once you're down towards Lisbon, East Palestine, East Liverpool, Elwood City, those places probably have the best chance of seeing a few lingering raindrops in the morning on Friday. Despite a damp start in some places, it'll turn into a decent day on our Friday. The flash flood risk today, very high, of course, across the Ohio River Valley down towards the Mississippi Valley. As we look at this product going forward, this is Friday's outlook. The risk shifts a little bit north and west as our stationary front lifts a little bit north and west. So a place like St. Louis and heading down towards the Ozarks, and even as far north as Indianapolis and Dayton and Cincinnati, some decent odds of just too much water Friday and into Friday night. Our best chance of seeing some torrential downpours around eastern Ohio and western PA, maybe first thing Saturday morning, and maybe again Saturday night. I think there could be some noisy thunderstorms to wake us up first thing Saturday morning, with pretty good rain chance again later in the day and into Saturday night, and so the flood risk gets to the medium category, especially about Route 30 and south down towards Interstate 70. So yeah, plenty of moisture heading our way. One thing we'll be keeping an eye on for Saturday is the possibility of a heavy gusty storm before the day is through. I think there can be some noisy storms around at the start of the day, 5, 6, 7 a.m. Probably not severe though, not much of a wind threat with those, no tornado threat, might be a little bit of hail As we go into the afternoon, though, it'll depend some on the instability. We may not have much sunshine, but there will be a tongue of moisture that comes northward, and there's still plenty of wind shear aloft, and I could see where there's a couple of isolated heavy gusty storms and maybe an isolated severe weather risk across the upper Ohio River Valley, southeast Ohio, southwestern PA. I kind of suspect the risk is highest kind of down in here. Think Athens, Columbus, Zanesville, Cambridge, maybe over to Wheeling and Pittsburgh. It's probably a little higher, that risk down there. Wouldn't be surprised if when this becomes the Day 2 outlook, the Storm Prediction Center expands the slight risk, the level 2 risk, out, something like this. That wouldn't surprise me. We'll see that product issuance in the middle of the night tonight. All right, model depiction for the next few days. Our stationary front is the main player for the time being. Again, a little bit of damp weather to kick off Friday, especially in our southern areas. Overall, a decent day, not as warm as today. We made it to 70 today, about 60 tomorrow. That's still a little above average, just not as warm as today. And then our stationary front starts wiggling and wobbling and starts to make a little northward progress as we go into Friday night. I think showers will likely return. I think that the ingredients can come together as our stationary front kind of dissolves and we see a little bit more of a pronounced area of low pressure. Fronts start moving. We get a warm front. We get a cold front approaching. I could see where the ingredients come together for some noisy thunderstorms to kick off Saturday right in here, 5, 6, 7 a.m. It's not a washout Saturday. There will be some dry intervals, but with this front approaching, again in this kind of corridor, this kind of zone right in through here, could the atmosphere turn kind of unstable with a lot of wind energy aloft? Yeah, I could see that. The clouds could be a limiting factor, though, not allowing the atmosphere to become super unstable. Then our cold front rolls through slowly, and the rain pushes back in. It's going to be a soggy Saturday night. Some downpours will be possible. And then as Sunday gets underway, yikes. Pretty grisly forecast for Sunday and the first half of next week, to be honest. We're going to have a hard time getting above 40 on Sunday after flirting with 70 on Saturday. And the next system comes in with rain and snow showers late Monday into Monday night. I think there'll be some flurries in the air Monday night into at least the morning hours on Tuesday. And that's the Guardians home opener on Tuesday. That is going to be no fun if the game is even played. I suspect it will be. It'll just be, one of those opening days in Cleveland that features maybe temperatures around freezing and a gusty wind. Maybe a couple of flurries still lingering as well. So the weekend forecast 69 on Saturday. We retreat to the 30s Saturday night with the rain, and then it's just gloomy on Sunday. Clouds, a little bit of rain, especially in the morning. Temperatures only rising a few degrees on our Sunday. Now, not expecting much in the way of accumulation, of course, with our snow early next week, but I could see where Monday night we get some dustings. I could see on the hilltops up towards Erie and southwestern New York around Jamestown. I could see where someone gets a couple of inches in through there, especially on the non-paved surfaces. So we're not done talking about the S word just yet. It's going to be pretty chilly on balance next week. This is today's fresh 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Pretty neutral looking map here, and I think this is generally the right idea. I don't think we get into a warm pattern anytime real soon, but this kind of middle of the month, 11th through the 17th, I can see where it's not as chilly as next week, but it's not a real warm pattern at all either. A lot of temperatures probably fairly close to the average for that middle part of April. All right, lots to get to on Weather for Weather Geeks on my social media and on our newscasts as well. Make sure you're following me wherever you get your weather news, whether it be on social media, traditional TV, or an app like the Storm Tracker 21 app. We think it's the best weather app for all of our region. I'll see you back here on Friday for a fresh edition of this video. It's called Weather for Weather Geeks.